Today I'm going to talk about this documentary about Frank Zappa, and it's called Zappa. It just came out in 2021, and I thought the only way I'm going to really see this documentary is to buy it. So I bought it on Blu-ray, and it was produced by Emmett Zappa, one of Frank's sons, and the directors were given full access to his archives, which they show in the film. It's like a vault, and it's literally rows and rows of tapes, and it's quite amazing. Frank pretty well saved everything. So we get an early glimpse into his life and his family, and then we go into his love of experimental music, and in high school listening to R&B music with Don Van Fleet, which is Captain Beefheart. And then throughout this film, there's interviews with Frank throughout his whole life, and they're little snippets of him talking, and you really get a good sense of what he's about as they go through, as well as you're going to get anyways. They cover the Whiskey A Go-Go, where the Mothers first started playing, one of the first places they played, and there's some really, really great clips. I wish they had longer clips. Someday maybe they'll be released like live on stage. They just were crazy on stage. And then they, from there, they went to New York, where they played multiple shows at the Garrick Theater in 1967. There's actually a poster of Lenny Bruce and Frank Zappa playing on one bill, which is so weird, but not in some ways, but so weird in others. But they did pretty well anything they wanted on stage there, and there's little clips of that too throughout that period. So you get a real sense that Frank's life was quite complicated, not to him, but to somebody viewing in, because his love of music and his ongoing production of music never stopped, really. And covers the Flo and Eddie period, which really isn't my favorite period, but it's still interesting. And he also played a bill with Lennon, John Lennon, and that's shown a little bit here. And there's interviews with Stevie Vai and other band members through the years. There's Ian Underwood, and Ruth Underwood gives a real heartfelt interview about what she thinks of Frank and his music. It's quite touching. And he appeared on Saturday Night Live, and he said it was basically sucked. It sucked because he was made to do things, and basically they sort of made fun of him, and he didn't get to write anything, which Frank always had to have control of what he did. Like even that the skits in there he sort of rejected. So his wife is interviewed throughout this, Gail, and she has some interesting things to say also. And Frank basically took control of his own career in the early 80s with Barking Pumpkin Records. And that way he could distribute and didn't have to go through middlemen and all the bullshit that was involved with producers and company owners. He didn't have anything good to say about record companies. So it's a really, it's almost at the end when his health is going downhill. He's still up doing his orchestration thing, like the Yellow Shark thing, and there's some scenes in here that are really touching. They sort of brought a tear to my eye, because I'm not going through prostate cancer like he had, but still going through cancer, and it really made me think, this guy was working, he was in pain, and he was working right up to the last minute. So I think this is probably the best documentary that you're going to get on Frank's life, and it's well worth seeing. And I'm definitely going to watch it again real soon. And I think it's like 2 hours, it's over 2 hours long. And it could have been a lot longer, because I could have watched this for a long period of time. And someday I hope they release some of that a full song even of the Mothers way back in the day. But so long.